Okay, so first things first. What we have here is about a 9-roll roof. Multiple things. This should have been capped when they capped everything else. I realized it was cosmetic, but you run the risk of trapping water there. Your flashings are shot, evidenced by the separation, the splitting. Open, 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 open. Now, before I get too much further, I want to show you a couple things that might easily be missed. So these bleeds are imperfect, and I don't mean perfect like it's got to be perfect, but there's no waterproofing on the wall. There's no. This is what I want to show you. It's like that in so many places. Obviously, your flashing shot. If I can get my fat fingers in behind there, and this was ran wrong. They probably looked at other roofs and said, hey, we'll do this, or maybe they got a 3-for-1 deal. I don't know, but you can see the flashing over here split before I even get close. It's what? It's a 7-foot run. Dog ears open. The neoprene collar has split. See this coloration right here? This is showing you too. Jeez. Push on that. We should be able to get water to squirt out of there, as is here. Sometimes guys think putting a lot of roofing cement on prevents problems. That's not true. If you put too much on, what happens is it cracks, splits. You can't put roofing cement on this. I don't know why they even bothered. Just that little bit was enough to help dry it up. I don't want to mess with that too much. But same thing here. There's no bleed. So nice sideways rain gets under this. This should have not have been run like this. But again, I can't get my middle finger under there, but you can definitely get water under there. Same thing if you look closely. See the separation here? See this by my finger? That's all it takes. You're seeing it in the back because although they're called flat roofs, you can tell by looking down the block, they all have a slope to them. So what happens is, the water gets in. Any place that is not welded. The whole purpose of rubber is that you have one continuous sheet of rubber after they're welded together. But you often see this. This looks like this was done in a hurry. This is an overburn, and then try to correct, they put cement down. But if you just glop it on, what happens is it separates anyway. Too thin, it splits. Too thick, it splits. These are their old boiler pipes. I'm sure these aren't even in use anymore. These are from the, what, 40s, 50s? I don't know. Same thing here with your flashing. They started off good here, like that's a good seam. That's not. Good seam all the way down to here, and then somebody took a break. I don't know what happened. Maybe they're in a rush. So to come up, oh, just to be clear, this should not have been run like this. This is a high side slant with a full gutter run. So what should have happened, oh my God, look at that overburn. It's the other thing. Everybody with a torch and a ladder believes they're a roofer, unfortunately. And this is what you get. This whole area where there's no bleed, no weld whatsoever. And all the walls are like that. You got 50 foot of walls like that over here, and what? 15 foot of walls over here like that. And then, even though they weren't pushing the bleed well, there's no bleed here at all. So this is open, this is open. This is overburn where they destroyed the roof. Overburn, overburn. Look, there's no separation between. Let me see if I can make this understandable. There you go. See where the chunks are out? It's from overburning. Not to mention you've got the separation here. We don't like these neoprene collars. Real roofers don't. What we do is We take 4 pieces of rubber, notch them out, and then wrap the back, the side, and then the other face, and then flash. Neoprene doesn't like being stretched like this. These actually are shingle collars. They go on a shingle roof with a diagonal installation, which is why you have. The second these are put on and stressed against their original design, which is why they'll pull away from here and why they rip open once they dry out from being stressed. So yeah, this should have been ran like this. One continuous sheet in the gutter, then probably an 18 up high, and then substantial rolls running this way in a perpendicular pattern to the roof. And then that should have been run parallel to the roof. But when you have a gutter like this, I mean, considering the job they did on the bleeds, there's no bleed here at all. They ran short. You see this? This rubber is supposed to be to here, and there's supposed to be a bleed. They have a bit of a bleed here, but as you can see, it's overburn. So you have cracking in a vital area. This is where all the water is expedited off your roof. Overburn here, no bleed here. I'm in the box, which is the most vital. Ugh. Zero protection. So, flashing is split, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what type of rubber you put on a roof. If you don't do the flashing right and you don't do the welds right, you're bound to be in trouble. So I believe the water is coming back here. But that's because this is the low part of the house. So what happens is it gets in anywhere alongside the split flashing. Look at this, it's completely failed. I don't want to pull on this too much. I don't know how ready you are to do something about it. And like I said, you have no bleed. The way the rubber is designed to be put down is in strips, almost like carpet, and then you weld it. It's supposed to be a 1/2 inch to 1 inch maximum coming out of here. They've got overbleed in some sections, and then no bleed at all in others. So honestly, I try to explain this to people. If you hold your hand up, what happens is here's the exterior of your property. So the precipitation comes down. It finds its way in, especially, no disrespect intended, I'm sorry, on a roof that was done with this lack of integrity to detail. So the water gets in here. Then it goes past the wood. If you're lucky, it'll fall in. So a leak is a good thing because it doesn't damage the wood itself. Then you have whatever insulating factor you have. Either you put in insulation or there's the original old gray installation from back when they built these things. And then you see the water drop through the sheetrock or plaster or whatever you have down there. So the reason why I'm holding my fingers up like this is because you have a leak sometimes a year or years before you see it as it works its way through the exterior, the decking itself, the insulation, and then you finally see it down here. Seeing the leak is actually good news though, because it means you're not taking it on structurally. You're structurally sound. I feel no weak wood. I'm a husky guy. I'm like 220. What you have here is an installation problem that finally revealed itself. A lack of attention to detail. There's no bleed here whatsoever. Good golly, Miss Molly. The water gets in around any one of these openings. It rolls down and then drops in wherever it wants to. If this thing is under warranty, I would tell them, yeah, I want either, well, yeah, I would say I want you to pay for the replacement of my roof. Look at this. There's nothing here. Look. It's fractured and splitting. Farson Construction carries a 10-year warranty solid per the manufacturer's installation instructions. But also I tack on another 5 because I'm not just the look at it, sell it to you. I'm the guy putting it on also. Me, my son, my son-in-law, and my other son. So, yeah, you've got a 9-row roof in need of help. I wish I could tell you, hey, just do this or just do that. This was a bad design to begin with. What they should have done, realizing that there was a low area, and they were going to put a stack here, which created a buildup, which has this little miniature lake here. I can see that somebody's pulled the granules out of there. What they should have done with any imperfections in the roof upon initial installation is a sand buildup to where you grade the valley to where it's all slanted and it runs straight off. And then take that out, take that out, take that out, run the deck, and then run the four pieces of rubber saddle around there, and around there. Because look, I'll show you. Over here, same thing. This is going against its design, right? It's not designed to take that kind of pressure. It's stressed. And somebody put cement on it. And look, you've got failure over here too. Although that's not your problem. This is a poor installation. They should have run that lower, perpendicular to the street. And they should have done a better job on the flashing and never installed these shingle collars on a flat roof. There should be a 1/2 inch to 1 inch bleed. And you have so many places. You've got a 4-foot run here where there's nothing. You've got other places where I can stick my car keys or a cigarette underneath there. And if car keys or a cigarette can fit under there, certainly water can too. Gets in, finds its way in, drops down. Do not let anybody talk you into an aluminum coating. You cannot put aluminum coating on granulated material. Aluminum coating is a reflector for the same reason that fair-skinned people put on suntan lotion. Your roof needs to be able to expand and contract depending on the weather conditions. And unfortunately, the chemical content in the aluminum coating is corrosive to the adhesive that they use to keep the stone on these rolls of rubber. So you're either better off going with a silicone. You got to power wash this and then silicone it. But honestly, the way that they keep raising prices, it's only about $1,000 less to do a new roof. Not really $1,000 less, maybe $2,000 less. But that's bare minimum. Anybody worth their salt is going to tell you got to reflash everything, including these seams. But they're not going to be able to guarantee it. I wouldn't guarantee any warranty on this because there's just... You'd be here. It would take less time to put on a new roof than it would be to flash every wall along the baseline where they meet. Rip these pipe collars out because they don't belong here. They don't meet specs. They're not durable. Reflash every seam and then put silicone on it. It's just not worth it. What you're going to spend. And, like I said, nobody's going to guarantee that. If you can find these people, tell them, I'll put a new roof on, but they've got to pay for it. Because this is a fail. Sorry to say.